Hello, my name is Mark Gerard, and I'm here today to try and help you troubleshoot your candles for St. Francis Parish Center. I just wanted to make this video to demonstrate some of the tools I used and some of the techniques that might be helpful in your troubleshooting of the candles. If you want to take a look at some of the tools, I used a couple different hand tools. A lot of these tools you can get at Harbor Freight to help kind of make things easier. A multimeter tool, that would be nice to, it's not necessary, but it does kind of help eliminate some of the problems as far as getting voltage readings and find out if you got power going through a certain wire and what. You just need a Phillips screwdriver. You also need a pair of scissors just to kind of help cut some wires or trim some things. A pair of wire strippers. Some solder, some just light gauge solder. You also need some flux that kind of helps bond the solder and the wire together. It just flows all real easy. This tool here is you can actually you can hook various wires to it, or the light bulbs or other things to solder points on. It's very nice because you can really see what you're doing. A heat gun for the heat shrink, I like to put around the wires just so they don't arc on each other and cause a short. And also a solder gun. Different solder guns are out there, different styles. It's really all about preference. The things you want to really focus on solder guns are the wattage outputs. This one is a 25 watt. For instance, I have a 40 watt light, and really the difference between those are about how much the power, how intense the heat is going to be. And you can also see different tips for these are made for more bigger areas that you want to really heat up a pool of solder. This will be a 25. You can get these at Radio Shack, various hardware stores. They're real easy to come by, but I would suggest because you're dealing with small gauge wire, small components. You don't really need a lot of heat. I also have some pliers. I'm going to show you a little technique to get the light bulb out, and that's about it. And of course, obviously, safety glasses. Never can be too safe for sure. And I'm gonna show you now just a simpler. So I basically turn the candles around. There's different points of screws just for the sake of this video. I only put one in there, just you don't have to sit here and watch me unscrew a bunch of screws. Alright. Pull the back down, and holy moly. This does look very confusing and very just wires going everywhere. But it's a very simple circuit. You have two wires going to your lights, to one Pacific light bulb on each one. From there, we have our power goes into this little box back here. This is basically like a small transformer. It takes the 120 volts, turns it into 5 volts, and for instance, a good check would be to take your multimeter, set it to DC volts, and you can check to see if you got good output on your transformer here. And from there it goes to, let's see here, goes to the switches, And out of the switches, it goes into your lights. And these little suckers are, this is actually a little circuit board that makes the lights kind of flicker, give that candle effect. And a good way to troubleshoot without even needing a meter, say for instance you have a whole section of candles out and you're wondering why would a whole section, a good way to just pinpoint would be to, okay, so these boards are all broken up into various sections. And you can actually physically unwire or disconnect the plugs. You have your board here, and you can reconnect them to a different board to see if this board is your problem. If you hook this board up and the lights still don't come on, then, for instance, this could be your problem. You might want to check for any burn marks or like capacitor being bulging, any of that, then this could be one of your problems. From there, usually it seems to be the case is it's the light bulbs. The light bulbs are just a standard light bulb with a filament, a little element in there that just kind of like a Christmas tree light, it just burns out, or any other light bulb. So the wires go up into the candle, and then they light on this little cover type deal. So the trick I want to show you is take a pair of pliers, put it to the large setting, and then you just kind of clamp on it. Don't go, you don't have to squeeze the life out of it, but just keep it, just kind of work it back and forth. You can try that, and it should just break loose from the wax there. This is just a cover to kind of deflect the light to give it more of a candle effect. From there, inside is a light bulb. And there's various ways you can get that out. The ones that I have fixed already is you can break. This is only glued down by a certain adhesive. You could use, wood glue. You could use silicone, whatever you want to just kind of get it to firmly hold. But you also don't have to, really keep it on there. So and the maintenance for future. So you kind of want to just snap kind of work it loose, and it should pop off. You can also see there's some tape, some glue down there. And then you can see as the wires go up through the candle. And then after I fixed this light, I made it easier for me to move the wires out. Some of them will still be kind of glued on. And I actually took a drill. Sorry, I don't have that out. A drill with a 1/4-inch bit. Oh, here. And I disconnected the light bulb, either cutting it or but also make sure the power is off. Trimming that off so the wires are bare, and I took the candle out, and that little hole that the wires ran up, I basically honed that out so it would be easier for future repairs, that you wouldn't have to actually unglue it every time. You will just be able to slide it up and down to do your solder points on either side of the light bulbs. And other than that, that is pretty much it. You can see that I used the heat shrink just to keep those connection points from arcing against each other. The light bulbs that are in this model itself are actually a 7362. They are a tiny little guy. You can find these on Amazon. Not necessarily, these aren't like a normal light bulb that a hardware store would carry. But you can see it's just a regular light bulb, and you just solder, you know, the yellow and the red to either one of those posts. It's fine, and that should get you lit back up and ready to go. And after all that, you just feed the wire back down, take your little cap, stick it back on, and yeah. Thank you. I hope this video is very helpful in troubleshooting some candles. Yeah, good luck and have a good day. Thanks.